actually have a Dyson Airblade here, which you guys are more than welcome to use after the presentation, or after the presentations. My name is Bodie Cabiyo. I am a sophomore and an environmental science major at Huxley.
I'm Mike Gore. I'm a marketing major. I'm Jordan Murphy. I'm an environmental planning major. Currently at Western, all paper towels from bathrooms go straight to the landfill. We obtained waste audit data that shows Wilson Library produces 219 gallons of waste in one day. Of that volume, 1/4 of it is actually paper towels. That's 54 gallons of paper towels that go to landfill in one day from just one building. The goal of our project has been to reduce waste on campus. And seeing that paper towels contribute greatly to this waste, we want to find an effective way to reduce this. So we began researching how we go about this. Our two best possible solutions have been either composting the paper towels or using energy-efficient hand dryers. The problem with composting the paper towels was it wasn't cost-effective. You need to take compostable bags to collect them. They're very expensive, and they mitigate any cost savings you get from sending it to a composting facility. So we decided to focus on energy-efficient hand dryers, specifically the Dyson Airblade. We chose this one because it was cost-effective, environmentally friendly, and also hygienic. We really want to emphasize the hygiene aspect because we know it's a hot topic issue when it comes to the bathroom. What makes it so hygienic is actually the way it works. It starts out with it filters air through a two-stage hospital-grade HEPA filter. That filters out 99.97% of bacteria before it reaches your hands. Then it goes through a sealed motor, split between two horns, and is forced through an aperture about the width of an eyelash, creating two air blades to travel 400 miles per hour. As you pull your hands up through it, it squeegees or scrapes the water off your hands, leaving about 0.1 gram of water. Keep in mind, this is all happening within a 12-second period, compared to a normal hand dryer, where if you're patient, you'll stand there for 45 seconds to a minute, rubbing your hands. But if you're like me and everyone else I know, you'll just say whatever and wipe them on your hands. Next. Other hygiene aspects I want to point out is it has a biocoat silver ion technology. It's actually coated in silver ions, which restrict growth of bacteria on the machine. There's also no touching required in the Dyson Airblade. All you do is put your hands and the sensor is started up. Unlike many paper towel dispensers, we have to grab a lever and pull it down. That's the same lever everybody else has been touching that day. There's also no heating element on it, like a normal hand dryer where it pulls in unfiltered air, heats it up, and basically spits more bacteria on your hand, then the hot air bakes it onto your hands. I also want to point out it's the only hand dryer that's approved by the National Sanitation Foundation and HACCP. The National Sanitation Foundation is a non-profit, non-government organization that's committed to public health, safety, and protection of the environment. They provide third-party assessment of products to make sure they're living up to their specifications. HACCP is a management system in which food safety and pharmaceutical safety is addressed through analysis and control of biological, chemical, and physical hazards from raw material and production and manufacturing. So they oversee food production and pharmaceutical production. They find any contamination hazards within their facilities, they have them removed. And Dyson Airblade is the only hand dryer that they allow to be used in the bathrooms of their facilities. Now Mike here can talk to you about savings.
So savings, we have the tree of savings. So the reason we got to the Dyson Airblade is because, like the tree of savings, it's green in two ways. Not only is it good for the environment, it also saves us a ton of cash. So let's talk about cost savings for just a real quick minute. Currently, the cost of using paper towels to dry one person's hands is 1.5 cents. That's per dry. The cost per Dyson with our current electricity cost is 0.03 cents. And that's a 98% reduction in the cost per use to dry somebody's hands. That's quite a bit. So this is going to be an investment. That's what our pilot project is all about. It's going to be about a $2,200 per unit cost to install these. And this includes a large amount of money to rewire bathrooms where they need it. This also includes the installation and purchase of each unit. So the savings and usage cost, which I just talked about, will pay off the initial investment in about 53 weeks. And again, that's the top end ceiling. So that's the most that this could cost us with everything factored in. So over 5 years, which is a good span, that's the amount of time that the unit is warranted for, each unit will save around $9,600 versus current paper towel costs. So our pilot project is a proposal for 4 hand dryers. And only these 4, just 4 hand dryers, projected to save our school over $38,400 in 5 years. This includes the installation costs. So this is a great savings amount that also underwrites the installation costs. So this is a short-term investment that's going to provide us with long-term savings financially. But there's more to be saved. The environment. We all care about that, and that's probably why we're all here today for some reason or another. The Dyson Airblade has 70% less carbon emissions than using recycled paper towels, which is what our campus currently utilizes. A Dyson uses 3.4 grams of CO2 per dry, whereas a recycled paper towel uses 12.5 grams. This would save us 5.25, so 5.25 tons of CO2 over a 5-year period per unit. So we looked at these numbers and we found that they were from sources such as Dyson and Kimberly-Clark, which are the respective manufacturers of this hand dryer and paper towels. We weren't able to find any independent third-party sources that were as accurate or well-researched as these, so these are the numbers we're going with right now. Also, we're saving trees. Because a Dyson doesn't spit out a tree product every time you use it, this is a good thing. Estimated 1 Dyson saves a harvest of 51 trees over a 5-year period. Think of all those happy trees, you guys. So a 4-dryer pilot project will save 204 trees over 5 years. That is a lot of happy living trees. So these saved trees not only are still growing and still making a beautiful scene for us to see, they're also sequestering 49 tons of CO2 over 5 years. So not only are we taking less out of the environment, we're also leaving in place a really valuable natural resource and having more money in our pockets. So here's Bodie with stakeholders and research.
So in acquiring all this information, stakeholders and research has been central. We've been working really close with Mike Smith, the supervisor of academic custodial services. He's been very supportive throughout the project and very helpful in supplying us with information regarding the bathrooms. One major issue that he brought up was the point that paper towels use mechanical action to actually rub pathogens off of your hands. So we looked into this a little bit, and we found that unlike hot air dryers, who essentially bake pathogens onto your hands, that a Dyson Airblade actually removes 90% of bacteria on your hands by mechanical action, according to IRM, which is an independent French research facility. And this is slightly less than paper towels, but we think that really, in comparison to all the other benefits of this dryer, we think that's really insignificant. Also, we've been working very closely with Gail Shipley, the Director of Environmental Health and Safety, obviously because of hygiene. One point that she brought up is the possibility that the HEPA filter in the Airblade might have a smell that could be either unpleasant or detrimental to people's health that would be around them. We looked into this also, and through our case studies and research, we couldn't find any documented instances of this problem, though that's something that we will follow up with and look into with the pilot project. Also, she brought up the issue of noise. The Dyson Airblade is more noisy than other hand drying options, and consequently could be a distraction in academic settings. This actually is not going to be a problem, especially in our pilot project, which is going to be an arts and concourse. Arts and concourse bathrooms are surrounded on all sides by concrete walls, and there are no academic classrooms directly in the vicinity. Also, many of the buildings around campus have pre-installed half-inch sound insulation, so we really don't think that's going to be an issue. However, if it is, we could blow in insulation. We've also been working with Greg Huff, who is the Quality Assurance Coordinator at Facilities Management. He's been very helpful in supplying us with building information and installation costs. I like this quote because it really emphasizes the point of a pilot project. We're going to install these hand dryers as a pilot to see how these work on our campus. Sure, they work elsewhere, and our research suggests that they will work here, but we're not actually going to know until we install a few of them and see for ourselves. So thank you, stakeholders. We really couldn't have done it without you. It wouldn't be possible. It's also important to look at similar projects when you're looking at putting a project on our own campus. We talked to Bill Chia at the University of Iowa, who is currently in the process of installing 400 Dyson Airblades across campus. He gave a very good review of the project. He said that there's been a couple minor issues, such as rewiring of bathrooms and sound installation, but besides that, they've been very well received. And currently, they're saving 80% energy, and will save $500,000 a year for the university, so that's huge. Also, other universities to note are Stanford University, who has installed them in their dormitories, Harvard University across campus, UCLA across campus, Penn State across campus. At UW, they're currently installing Dyson hand dryers in all of their new buildings, and they've also been installed in various hospitals and airports across the nation. So guys, great idea, but how are we going to do this? The green fee. Luckily for us, the green fee was passed into action this year. It's a student-initiated fee that is based on the tenets of reducing our environmental impacts and creating an aware and engaged campus community. This fee provides $250,000 in grant funding for projects like ours. So we plan on applying for the cost of 4 Dyson Airblades. One of the key tenets of the green fee is education, and so likewise that's a very important part of our project. We first plan on installing real-time energy savings meters, so that as you're drying your hands, you'll be able to see how much energy you're saving and also how much energy has been saved over the lifetime of the dryer. Also, we plan to create educational posters which will educate on the benefits of the Airblade. And as far as creating an engaged campus community, the Dyson Airblade is engaging. It's in your face as you go to the bathroom, so people are going to know what the green fee is doing and about the Airblade. So follow-up is quite possibly the most important part of our project. We hope to create a 6-month follow-up report assessing the effectiveness of the Dyson Airblade, how well it's actually worked on our campus. We hope to present this to facilities management as an accurate analysis of the effectiveness of the Dyson Airblade, so that they may make an educated judgment on whether we want to install them campus-wide. So, if our projections hold true, we could save $36,000 over a 5-year span with 4 dryers, and 21 tons of CO2 over 5 years with 4 dryers, plus countless other environmental savings. Now think what this could look like campus-wide.